Hey guys, I'm on time today. Got a lot to do. I'm sorry if I forgot to tag anybody. I couldn't find the few comments of people that wanted tags. So if anybody remembers, please tag them if you can. So I want to show you real fast. I'm going to move these into view. These all have a little bit of epoxy and some glitter mixed in. Or they're not mixed yet, but the glitter and epoxy are in. They're just not mixed yet. So while I'm letting those thicken up, I am going to put some epoxy on some cups. So bear with me here just a few minutes. See if we can get a bunch of people in here again like the other night. I apologize for any background noise. I do have my turners going, so they are a little bit noisy if you can hear the clicking or rotating in the background. What's everybody up to? How's everybody doing? Feel free to start asking questions if you have any in regards to anything that you see on camera right now or any of the products I'm using. I am filming with my phone again, so if I miss any comments or questions, I'm sorry. I'm working with a pretty limited screen space right now with the apparatus that I use to hold the phone above the space. Hi, Raina. Hi, Terry. So I'm not sure what happened to the live I did the other day. It's disappeared. Like I said last night, I reached out to Kayla to see what might have happened in case somebody might have removed it, but she didn't remove it. She doesn't think anybody else did. So she informed me that she's tried to do a couple of lives before and they just vanish. So I am going to do a duplicate, like mini redo of the live I did the other day. So I'll do a couple of pops on here. That way you guys can all catch up and see. Hi, Kim. Sheena, I use a Canon MX490. I got it at Walmart when it was on sale. I think I paid like $30 or $35 for it. It's an inkjet printer, and it works perfectly with the Spin It waterslide paper from Michaels. Like I said, sorry for any of the background noise. I've got 4 kids in their bedroom directly behind my workspace. So if you hear them fussing or crying, don't worry. Their dad's keeping an eye on them. But they are, children. I made a wide variety of water slides. I only have 4 of the pops prepped for water slide, so I won't be able to use all the ones that are on screen right now. But in the future, all of those will eventually be on a pop. Hi, Linda. I'm off in the background right now applying some of this epoxy over on one of these cups over here. So you'll see my hands in the screen in just a second. Hi, Terry. Terry, I tried to find it to see the sites you use. Oh, I'm sorry. I will upload any sites to any of the materials I have in here once I save and upload the video after we're done doing the live portion of it. But it's all pretty much the same that I have before. Kim, I do my water slides about 1.25 inches in diameter. Hi, Shelly. Vicky, this is considered the small Minnie Mouse mold. I get it from Simply Glitterlicious. And if you look on her page, she has 2. So she has a large and a small. And the small in the description says that it's the perfect size for phone grips. Hi, Sharon. Leah, I want to see. Make a Mickey Mouse. Leah, I don't have one of these set for a Mickey Mouse because these are all actually for open orders that I have. But in the next couple of tutorials that I do, I'll sneak a Minnie Mouse pop in there so you can check it out and see. But all I do is I take the Minnie Mouse head and I put E6000 on the badge reel and then stick it on and let it kind of soak up and do its thing. So I've got about 1,000 lights on in here to help alleviate any shadows that might appear, but I am sweating like a wild animal, guys. It's hot. Hi, Kathy. Do you guys have snow yet? Normally about this time of year, a lot of Idaho gets quite a bit of snow. Toasty. Okay. I am going to step away for just a second, guys, to get my little container of water so that we can put the images on the ones that are already done. So give me just a second. Hi, Jessica. That's good. I think the worst part about the snow, Kathy, is having to drive in it. So, I'm going to move these cups of the glitter and epoxy out of the way because I don't need them right now. But when I'm ready to do the blank ones over here, I'll pull all of that back into view. I'm sorry. I wish I could get it like, I don't know. My apparatus doesn't have a way to like clip up just like a tiny bit higher so you can see more of my workspace. So I'll have to kind of shift and shuffle things out of the way. Kristen, so I mix my glitter into the epoxy. I let it thicken for about 30 minutes before I put it onto the foam pop, and then it just kind of domes and self-levels. I don't really have to do anything else for it in order to get it that smooth. Sharon, this Minnie Mouse, it's actually like a purple color shift. I don't know. It's called Maleficent, and it's her chunky mix from Glitzy City LLC. So like I said, I'm going to move these cups out of the way because I don't need them for the moment, because they're just going to set up and thicken, and then I'll do all the mixing and stuff on the page, or on the in view. Let me get some of my molds out of the way too, and I'll get these blanks out of the way. Okay. So obviously I only have 4 blanks to use, and I'm only going to use 4 of these images. I'm going to do probably the Yoda, the unicorn, the sunflower, and then I don't know. So out of these 5 here, which one do you guys think I should do for the last one? Alexis, yes, I can do the little Yoda first. It is. It's in the pocket in the seat where she sits, like in front of the seat where she sits. Sharon, it's called Maleficent from Glitzy City LLC. After the video, if you want to reach out to me, I can send you the link for it. So we've got the mermaid over here. She's like a super sexy pinup mermaid. And then I've got the cheetah prints. I've got the little like traditional tattoo rose. I've got, of course, Philadelphia Eagles, because we are Eagles fans here in my house. And then I have another unicorn head, which has got this cool like moon in the background. Jessica, so the blank pop sockets I normally get from Pair of Dice Designs, they were all out because I'm pretty sure all you guys went in there and cleared them out. But I did find gorgeousglitter.com, and she had a bunch. Okay, so it looks like the general consensus is the leopard print. So I'll probably do that one. And then on another video in the future, maybe I'll do one of these other ones. But I am going to move these ones out of the way. Or I'll move them off to the side here. You probably can't see them anyway, so it's okay. So it looks like these 4 will be our phone pops for today. Okay? I hope you guys can see them. Doris, these are all water slides. I use the Michaels Spin It brand water slide, and And it works really well with my inkjet printer. Simone, can you show an overall view of the pop? Okay, so this is the blank pop. Okay, it's white and it's got a plastic surface. It's got the 3mm, sorry, I've got cured epoxy everywhere. It's got the standard 3mm tape circle on the back, and it does a double pop. So it pops out twice. Anytime that I put epoxy on these, I leave them popped once. It gives me a surface to hold on to without touching the top to put epoxy on. I'm going to pop this Minnie Mouse. So I'm going to pop this head out of here because I do need the mold for an order that I need to fill, but I just love that frostbite from Glitzy City. It's so pretty. Okay, so I think we'll go ahead and get started. I have just a little tub here of warm tap water. That's all it is warm tap water. For me, the water slide comes off of the paper easier and faster when it's in warm water. I have a piece of paper towel here because once I place the water slide onto the pop, I use the paper towel to soak it up and dab it so that I get a lot of the moisture back out of the water slide. Because you have to get the moisture out of the water slide in order for the adhesive to actually adhere to the surface you're putting it on. Okay, so it was requested. Oh, hey Angie, you made it. So glad you're here. I'm going to go ahead and do the little baby Yoda first. And then after that, we'll probably move through, I don't know, we'll just kind of go as we do. Okay, also, I want to let you guys know that because the last live disappeared, no idea where it went, it just kind of disappeared. Moving forward, I'm going to be doing all of my lives and videos on my own YouTube channel. That way I know that they're not going to just be randomly removed and disappear. So we can do like watch parties in here, or I can just send you guys links, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to take the water slide here. Now I printed these at like 1:30 my local time. So it was about 2.5 hours ago. About 2.5 hours ago, I printed these. I let them dry for about a minute, and then I take them outside and I spray them with my Rust-Oleum clear spray paint. I use a semi-gloss, and I let it dry outside for about an hour, and they're good to go. I do one really generous coat of the clear sealing spray paint over the image, and I haven't had any issues with any of the ink or anything sliding around. So I'm going to just drop him into the water here. Let him soak. He's only going to sit in there for probably 20 or 30 seconds before I'll pull out the image. I prefer to take them off the paper before I place them. I do have some friends in the community that take the whole piece out and then slide the paper out from under the image, but I don't know. I don't like to do it that way. Yeah, Tessa, give me just 1 second and I'll show you guys the clear spray paint that I use. So for sealing my water slides, I use this Rust-Oleum 2X Ultra Cover Semi-Gloss Clear. It's like $4 at Walmart, and it lasts me quite a while. I can probably do 10 or 12 full sheets, and that doesn't include all of the glitter tumblers that I have to seal with this, too.
That's my baby.
Okay, so, Jenna, so I do a sealing coat of epoxy over the top just to make sure that you can't feel the water slide, because there is a textural difference between the epoxy and the water slide itself. Alicia, exactly. I feel like I have more control over where the image is going to go. So my water right now is about room temperature. It's not very warm now, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be super warm. So I've removed the image from the paper. He looks like a clear little sticker now. And then I just place it on the phone pot. Okay, I make sure to kind of push all the edges down to get them on there. And then I'm going to take the paper towel and I'm just going to press it down onto the pop. I don't press very hard. You don't want to move the paper towel and wipe around because it will move your image. You just want to dab it until you soak up a lot of that moisture so he can adhere appropriately to the phone pop. And there you go. Now, he's a little, like, he's not very dark. So you can't, like, he's not very vibrant. It does, like, the glitter takes over so much because it is a chunky glitter. Now, if I were doing more like this fine glitter, whoop, unicorn fell off. Sorry, guys. So, here, I'll show you the difference with the sunflowers because I still have them. I haven't shipped them yet. Okay. So, this sunflower on the chunky glitter It's not super detailed. You can definitely see the sparkle more than you see the sunflower. Jenna, I'm going to do a couple of these blank pops with some glitter on it today since the last live disappeared. So you'll get to see how I do that after we do all the water slides. Raina, I have a silicone brush. I'm not really a fan of it, only on the smaller items, just because the paper towel absorbs a lot of the water right out of it, and I don't have to worry about it setting up or anything like that. I worry with the silicone brush on these little pieces that I'm going to end up moving the image, and I want to avoid that at all costs. So, like I said, so here the sunflower is not super defined. It's more of like a shadow. I don't want to say a shadow effect, but it's like a translucent effect. You see more of the glitter than you do the sunflower. On the finer, thinner glitter, you see more of the sunflower than you do the glitter. It just really depends on what look you're going for. If I did Yoda on this type of pop, he's going to be a lot more vibrant and a lot brighter. But because we did him on the chunky, he's a little bit more faint. Now, if you want a more vibrant image of your water slide on your phone pop, you can double up your image and place a second one over the top. Or what you can also do is, depending on how well your printer works, you could double print your water slides, and it'll have twice as much ink in them. Kimberly, my sunflowers are about 1.25 inches wide. Raina, the bags came with the phone pops. That way they're ready for easy packaging to resell. Okay, so we'll do the leopard print next. The leopard print would be cute if you did the water slide, and then if you put like a name or something over it in like a gold vinyl or a different colored vinyl, that'd be really, really pretty. So like I said, we're just going to stick it in the water. We're going to let it set for 20, 30 seconds or so. And then it'll get pulled out and we'll put it on the phone pop again.
Why are we yelling?
Sorry. Kids are in the background fighting and husband is dropping the hammer. Samantha, the phone pops normally come from Pair of Dice Designs, but she is sold out after the live I did the other day. So I got mine from gorgeousglitter.com this time. I just ordered some more. Okay. So I'm going to pull the slide out. You'll see that, I don't know if you guys can see, but it quite literally just slides off the paper. I'm going to take it off the paper, and I'm going to just lay it directly on here. And you can move it while it has the water on it. You don't want to move it too far because there is the chance of it ripping. And I have several more of these printed, so I could put more on here and fill it up if I wanted to, but I don't have that kind of patience today. So then I just dab it with the paper towel. Brenda said, "Go, hubby," because I told him you were putting the hammer down on the kids. So Angie, so it's called waterslide paper. You can get it on Amazon. Michaels carries it for the Spin It brand, and the Spin It brand is compatible with an inkjet printer. Are those swappable pops? Tammy, these are not swappable pop sockets. So there's this little lip right here. You could technically pop this top off and pop another one in its place if you want to. Let's see what else. Sharon, I have a Canon too, and when you Google the serial number or the model number of your printer, it'll tell you if it's a laser or inkjet. As long as you get the corresponding paper for that, you can print your own water slides. Yeah, so Amazon's got a couple, and the packages on Amazon come in higher quantities. I think you get like 20 or 25 sheets. The Michaels brand, you only get 4 sheets in it, but I pick the Michaels one up for like $4 and $5 anytime that I go because of the coupons. So you know, and again, I'm super impatient. I hate waiting for shipping. So now we're going to put the sunflower in the water and let it set for a few minutes. Now, don't worry if your water gets cold or anything, like it'll still do what it's designed to. I just always start out with hot water. Cece, I just ordered some new pops from gorgeousglitter.com. Michelle, I use a gloved finger to put the sealing layer of epoxy on just because I don't need it very thick. Marty, yes. So the water slide will go on top of this layer of epoxy, but then there will be an additional layer of epoxy on top. Let's see. Jenna, I typically sell mine for $10 and that includes shipping. Otherwise they're $7.50 a piece. Betty, we are Eagles fans. This is the 1.25 inch diameter and it'll fit perfectly on one of these pops. Angie, I have not tried tattoo paper, but I do know that some people have had a lot of success with them. Alicia, I use the Amazing Clear Cast from Michaels. I haven't had any issues with it. I don't have like the problem with bubbles or anything. Mine doesn't really ever smell bad, so I keep sticking with it. Sharon, I will add the Michaels link to the Spin It paper. That way if you want to check it out online. I don't know if they sell it online. I normally have to get it in, I have to get it in store. Okay, so we're going to pull the sunflower out now. And we're just going to lay it on top of the pop. So as you can see on this one, it's kind of bubbled. So I set it where I want it. And it's got quite a bit of water still on here. So I just take the paper towel and I dab. Like I said, you don't want to rub it because if you rub it, it's going to move the image. And this helps soak it up without moving it, wrinkling it, crinkling it, anything like that. Megan, yeah, so I just mixed glitter into the epoxy. I'm going to do a couple on live for you guys here a little bit because the last one disappeared so that you guys can kind of get a do-over for the one I did the other day. Jenna, the pops that I buy come with the little bags to sell them in. And I just prefer it that way because it's less hassle and less for me to order. Aw, Sharon, you're so sweet. I'm glad I'm giving you the inspiration to do it. Aw, Vicky, thanks. I like playing the teacher. So it's really more fun for me than anything. So we're going to do the last one here, and then we'll move on to putting the glitter onto the actual pops themselves. I'm going to put the little unicorn with the headband in the water here. I always make sure that they sink to the bottom. That way I know that they're being completely submerged and completely covered by water. That way they loosen up nice and easy off of the back paper. Thank you, Carolyn. That means a lot to me. So I'll typically wait anywhere from like 2 to 4 hours just to make sure they've had plenty of time to air dry. The last thing I want to do, Megan, is have like an air bubble or something pop up in here and then try to put that under the epoxy and be able to see it. So a fun fact for you guys, the Spin It water slide paper is 8.5 by 11 or 9 by 11 or something like that. It's a little bit bigger than regular copy paper, but with the dimensions of the phone pops, I'm able to fit 50 water slide images for phone pops on one sheet of paper to give you an idea of how big they need to be and how many you can fit on each page. Anytime that I print water slides, I always print a page full of images. I don't ever print just 1 or 2 at a time because it's a hassle. It's an extra hassle to try and put them on like copy paper and then put them in the printer and then deal with it that way. So it's so much easier if you print an entire sheet full of images. Priscilla, I found her on Facebook, and then I kind of cleaned her up and detailed her a little bit and shrunk her down to size. She's this just cute little pinup. She's got seashells on. I mean, it's a really cute little image. I definitely think I want to do it in a larger scale on a tumbler. I think it'd be so cute. Oh, Veronica. Oh, no. I had to check out like 5 different stores yesterday, guys, to find any that were in stock. Veronica, check out intrepidstainless.com. I know they carry them too. I just can't remember how much she charges for them. Yeah, Megan. So when I print a whole sheet, I spray paint the entire sheet, and then I just cut them out and use them when I'm ready. So I'm going to pull her out now. She's been in here for quite a while, but that means she should come off nice and easy. And again, just pull her off the image, drop the paper down, and then we're going to just set her on the pop. So like I said, she's a little bit faint because the glitter behind it is so vibrant. And if you want one of these images doubled up, you could certainly do that and just put 2 on there instead of the 1. Actually, I think what I might do is I might put a second baby Yoda on to brighten up the Yoda on the first pop that we did. Okay. That's what, yep, I'm going to do another Yoda. Sorry. Give me just a second, guys. I have to cut another Yoda out. I can do that on camera too if you want. Megan, thanks so much for replying to Janine for me. I almost missed her question. I definitely buy my water slide paper right now, at least from Michael's, just because it's immediately available and I don't have to wait for it to ship. Oh, goodness. Sorry, guys. Okay. I'm going to cut out this little Yoda real quick, and then we'll get this one doubled up on the image. That way you guys can kind of see how that's done too. Okay. Anytime that I do foam pop images, I print like 3 or 4 duplicates of each image in the event that I do want to double up or if I have a lot of orders for them. So here's another little Yoda, same size. We're going to put him in the water and let him get loose off the paper. While I'm waiting for that, I am going to mix some of this glitter. So this is a chunky red from Glitzy City LLC. I think it's called Hearts on Fire, but I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head. I'll have to look at the number. I have a badge reel request to have a mini badge reel with this in it, so I'm just kind of killing all of my birds with single stones. Terry, my images are 1.25 inches big. Priscilla, sometimes it can be depending on how detailed your image is, because there's, like, you could end up blurring the image because it's not exactly lined up. But most of the time with the more simple images, it's not that difficult, no. Sure thing, Terry, no problem. I love it when you guys ask me questions, because then I feel like I'm really helping more than just showing. You know what I mean? Like, being able to explain it and share my knowledge is super exciting for me. Okay. Okay, so we're going to pull Yoda out. Slide him right off the page. Cute little guy. And then we're going to try and line them up. Come on. Okay. There we go. So see, now that there's 2 water slides on top of each other on here, you can see it's considerably more vibrant. And then again, and this step too, when you're doubling up like this, you definitely want to make sure that you are just barely patting him dry, because the slightest movement will blur him. Yeah, Amy, so I I just kind of dump the epoxy onto the pop, and then I just kind of use a toothpick to level it out. And then it just kind of sets up and does its thing. Jenna, I typically ship these in their little bags, and then I put them in just like a small, like 9x6 poly mailer. And I typically include like a business card and a handwritten thank you note. Jerry Lynn, I am putting together phone pops. I'm doing water slide images on them right now so that you guys can see how to decorate them with something other than just vinyl. Yeah, sure thing, Amy. If you stick around, I am going to do a couple of them that way so you can see them on camera since my last live disappeared. But you guys can see, like, doubling up the image. He's so much brighter now because before, like, you could kind of make out what it was, but now, like, it's unmistakable. And you still get the glitter underneath without it being overpowering. Tony, I spray Semi-Gloss Clear by Rust-Oleum, the 2X like this, and it's awesome. Jessica, it's actually called waterslide paper. You can find it at Michael's or on Amazon. Kathy, I just put them in like a Word document all together spaced out, and then I print it from there. Megan, that's a great question. I don't sand my glitter because if you sand it before you put your waterslide image down, your epoxy is not going to glass that over again like it does with vinyl, so you'll see that scuff mark underneath your waterslide. Sonia, yeah, so the glitter that I used, actually, if you give me just a second, I'll show you. This is the glitter that I used for the live the other day to do the phone pop. And it's like a iridescent, kind of opally white color. Reagan, yeah, I do epoxy over the water slides to seal them. Oh. Lynette, you can message me that question if you need to. I do still have a few available. Well, tell John that if he wants to join in and watch, I would be more than happy to chat. So ready by the Patty, I got these ones from Gorgeous Glitter, but it has been brought to my attention that it is sold out now. You can get them on DHgate, AliExpress. The shipping for them takes a little bit longer, but I like to support small businesses, so I bought from Gorgeous Glitter, Pair of Dice Designs, and then intrepidstainless.com has them. Hi, Cassie. I'm actually from Idaho. I spent a lot of my life growing up in Twin Falls. Yeah, so where all the Spin It brand stuff is with the Turner and the cups and the epoxy now and the glitter, that the same spot has all their water slide paper. Yeah, so I do the badge reels the same way. I have, like, so far I've only done the Mickey or the Minnie Mouse ones. Let me see if I can find the one that I have. Okay. But if I were to apply an image to it, I would just put it on top, put the epoxy over it, and that was that. Thank you, Lynette. I appreciate that. So this Minnie Mouse right here is going to end up being a badge reel for one of my customers, and she wanted a black Minnie Mouse with the red headband. So pretty traditional, but it's going to be super, super cute. Okay, I'm going to move this water out of the way now that we're done with it. And I'm going to bring into view our blank phone pops. Okay, I'm going to move these up out of the way too. I always keep a couple of spare molds nearby because when I have leftover epoxy, I don't like to waste any of it, and I would rather pour it into a mold. Vanessa, so I did a video the other day and it vanished. We are not sure where it went or what happened to it. So moving forward, I will save them here, but there's a chance that Facebook will remove them. So there will be a YouTube channel for me that has them all as well. And I will do lives on YouTube, and it's the same format where you guys can still ask questions during and all that fun stuff. Yeah, Jody, we're going to do part 1 right now. Part 1 I did 2 days ago, and it vanished sometime yesterday evening, so I'm going to redo some of it right now. Yeah, Brooke. So I'm going to do that right now. So I've got these 3 glitters here that are going to go on these phone pops. This glitter right here, this bluish purple, is the same that's on this dark one. I'm going to do it on a white one so you can see a color comparison. We're going to use one of the big one. I'm not sure with them. Jessica, you can get them from Simply Glitterlicious. You can get them from Bear Mountain Designs. You can get them from Maple Street Supply. And I think Prism Charms might have them too, but I'm not 100% sure on that because I have not been able to score one of her molds yet, just because her stuff is so exclusive. So I just mix the glitter into the epoxy. Make sure it's well incorporated. So as you can see in here, I mean, there's not a whole lot in here. There's less than 5 milliliters of epoxy in here because you don't need a ton of it on this pop. Let me get these 2 out of the way real quick because we're going to do this one first. So I just pour the epoxy directly onto the pop. Okay, here we go. Okay. And I just kind of, actually I've got more. Hold on, sorry. I'm trying to get as much of it out as possible. Okay. So even without touching the epoxy that's dropped on here, you can already see that it's slowly started to spread. So because I leave it popped out once, I'm able to hold the bottom while I spread it out to make sure that I get it nice and even everywhere without running the risk of getting it on my hands. I don't typically wear 2 gloves at a time, only because like 9 times out of 10, my left hand is not doing anything that should be touching the epoxy anyway. So I would just rather save the glove and not worry about it. In the event that I get epoxy on my hands, I just wipe it off with alcohol. Comes right off. So at this point, the epoxy has had a chance to set up for about 30-35 minutes because it still does have some movement to it without it just kind of dragging everywhere, I guess you will say. Like, it does still kind of move on its own given the opportunity. So I make sure to get it as close as possible to the edge without going over, and then the epoxy just kind of domes and sets itself up nice and smooth for me. And there it is. Melissa, I got the earring molds same from Simply Glitterlicious. I'm not sure if she has any in stock right now, but that was where I purchased mine. Teresa, so when I put the bow on the Minnie Mouse head, I actually use epoxy to adhere it. Minnie Mouse mold came from Simply Glitterlicious. Jody, so my epoxy, I mean, it's like just under 5 milliliters that I use to do the phone pops. Angie, yeah, 20 sheets for $16 is a good price considering I pay $4 or $5 for 4 sheets. Linda, the epoxy does not stick, or the glitter doesn't stick up on the epoxy because since it's incorporated and mixed, it automatically self-levels and it doesn't stick up or anything. Yep, so I don't use any kind of mold to do this. I just glitter and epoxy directly onto the foam pop. Yep, Amanda, 45 minutes is about the max amount of time that I leave the glitter set before I put it on the pop. Anything longer than that and it's not going to flow on there like you want it to. So I'm just mixing more. This has got Arctic Bear from Glitter Zoo in it. It's like a silver sparkly white. So pretty. Jody, I just touch the tip of my finger in clear epoxy and rub it on and call it a day. I don't put very much on top for the final layer. And Crystal, I use the amazing clear cast from Michaels. Okay, so again, I'm going to put this one here in the middle. I'm going to move this one out of the way, you guys, because I don't want to run the risk of touching it or bumping it. Oh, I don't want to put it up there either, though. Okay, move it over here. Okay. Vicky, I will have this video loaded to my YouTube when I'm done filming here and doing the live, and I'll post the link to that in the comments of the video when we're done. Yeah, so I do a layer of glitter first, Mary, and then I put the water slider vinyl on top of that, and then I do a final thin layer of epoxy to seal it. Jessica, sorry, I almost missed your question. So the epoxy or the water slides take about 1 hour to 2 hours to dry. I wait until the 3 or 4 hour mark to put the epoxy over them just to make sure, because I don't want to end up with any bubbles or any improper curing. Teresa, I used to work overnights a long time ago, and man, that is the most brutal shift for sure. Megan, so the title of my channel is Pretty and Prickly Co. I'll drop a link to it in the comments of this video so you guys can find it later. I'm rebranding in the new year, and that'll be the new company name that I operate under. Now, I did a finer glitter in this one. So I didn't put nearly as much on it as I did the other ones because it's so, like, the glitter doesn't take up as much of the epoxy as the chunky glitter does. And then again, I just spread it out to the edge. And if you don't get it all the way up to the edge, that's okay, because like I said, this stuff self-levels and self-domes. So, like, it'll on its own get to the edge without, you know, too much difficulty. Okay. See? Look at how pretty that is. Okay. How long before you can add the decal to the one you just done? So that needs, Melanie, that one needs to fully cure. It'll be about 8 to 12 hours before I add any kind of decal to it. Jenna, I use less than 5 milliliters per pop. Thank you, Mariella. Andrea, you can just send me a message. Penny, so I've got some people that have had their pops for, you know, few months now and haven't had any issues. They don't pop off or anything. The tape part of it is sticky enough that you can remove it and then reapply it to a new pop or a new phone case if you need to. Megan, doing it my method, I have not had any rough edges or anything. Now, if the epoxy does run over the edge and you need to cut that off, if you just lightly sand around the perimeter, so like if this had run over the edge here, I would cut it off and then I would take a sanding block and just really lightly sand the edge here so that it would smooth it out. So Leanna, this, you put the glitter and epoxy on first to give you your glitter base, and then you'll put your vinyl or your water slide or whatever you're putting on here, and then you'll do a final sealing layer of epoxy over the top, just the same that you would do with tumblers, just on the smaller item. Okay. Whew. This one is going to be kind of the similar white that we did the other night, for those of you that remember, before Facebook took my video away. So, we're just going to put a dollop of it on the pop here. I like to scrape out as much of the epoxy as I can. Okay. So my YouTube channel is called Pretty and Prickly Co. And it's the and symbol, not the word and. I'll drop the link to it in the comments after I get the video uploaded so that you guys are able to find it and follow it. So then, again, get this put on here. Just spread it all out. So this is like a mix. I've got several different chunky white glitters in it. I've got a couple of the fine glitters in it too, and it's you can see that this has had a lot of time to set up. This is where, I mean, we're approaching like the hour mark almost of when I mix the epoxy versus when this one's getting put on. So, and you can see how much thicker it is. Even though it does still have a little bit of movement, it is still considerably thicker. Barbara, you can absolutely do printable vinyl instead of waterslide if you prefer to work with that. Yeah, so these, Megan, these are phone pops. So these have like the Minnie Mouse head and ears on the phone pop themselves. So, you know, I just try to get it as close as possible to the edge without going over, because if you go over, then you're going to have a big old mess. And it'll self-level, it'll be smooth, it'll be domed. I mean, it'll be the perfect work surface for any image or picture or vinyl that you want to put on it. Okay. The last thing I'm going to do, so I do need to put black glitter in here. And I mixed a black holographic and then just like a typical black glitter in it together so that I can maintain that same shimmer. Because you know black glitter, when you put it in epoxy, it turns to tar. Megan, I attach the Minnie Mouse heads with E6000 glue. And then, so like I'll put the head side down, make sure it's level, and then I'll put the glue on the phone pop and then let the phone pop just sit on the Minnie Mouse head for a couple hours, and then it'll be cured. Yes, Melanie. Typically when I work with epoxy, I do 60 milliliters at a time. So I do 30 and 30 of both A and B, and then I'll do cups, I'll do keychains, and then whatever's left I'll pour into molds or put on phone pops. I don't ever mix epoxy just solely to do keychains or phone pops or anything like that. I use those as more of a leftover epoxy solution. Lori, you can find phone pops on AliExpress, DHgate, because I know a lot of the smaller craft businesses that we all love to shop from are out right now. The place I just purchased from was gorgeousglitters.com, but it has been brought to my attention that it is out of stock now. Okay, and we're just going to fill the mold. Amanda, I have done paint, I've done micas, I've done alcohol ink. They all work the exact same as the tumblers do. Okay, this toothpick is not working out for me, guys. I'm gonna have to probably switch over to the spoon. Ugh. Sorry, give me just a second. I got some epoxy on one of my fingers. Okay. So if any of you remember from the other day, I like to mix my epoxy with a spoon, and this is the perfect example of why. So I had quite a bit of glitter and epoxy left at the bottom, but I wouldn't have been able to get to it without the spoon. So for this one, I did not mix silver. Well, I guess it's kind of a silver. So at Glitzy City, most of her glitters are numbered. I used a GC 823 to mix it in with black glitter to make sure that it stays sparkly. Megan, a lot of things can affect that. So your climate could affect it, whether or not it's humid or if it's super dry, how fast you're mixing it, what tool you're using to mix it with. If you mix with stainless steel or plastic, I get a lot less bubbles because it's not a porous surface. Back when everybody was using like, you know, popsicle sticks and all that stuff, we were getting a lot of bubbles because of the fact that the wood is porous and it's bringing air into the mixture. So obviously this mold did not get completely filled, which is totally fine. It's not a big deal. Once it's had a chance to set up for a little bit, I will add more epoxy to the back of it to fill it out. Yeah, so Megan, to alleviate the bubbles that show up in your epoxy when you mix, I would start mixing either with a silicone stick, a plastic spoon, or a stainless steel stir stick. Thanks, Kim. So these pink molds that I have, I got from Simply Glitterlicious. And I think that about sums it up. Amanda, I prefer the white only because when I put white glitter on it, I can do clear water slide, I can do vinyl, I can do a whole bunch of stuff. I feel like with the black, I cannot stand white water slide. I don't like doing the print and cut feature with the Cricut. I feel like there's too many variables. It's never properly calibrated. So that's why I do all of my printing out of like a Word document. And I do not have the patience to cut out white water slide to that close to the border to work with it. So I would rather work with printable vinyl, just straight regular vinyl, or the clear water slide on the white ones. So the majority of my foam pops are white. I did the black one as an experiment just because this color here is so, I mean, it's a super shift is what I call it. So like you get pink, purple, teal, blue, like you get all kinds of colors out of this one. So I did this one. Actually, I'll show you guys the side by side. Hold on. Let me pull these ones back down real quick. So these are the ones that we just did. Fresh, since the other video got removed. And I'm going to show you right here the difference in that color on the black and the white. It's the exact same glitter, same epoxy. There's nothing different between the two, but you can see how different, but how similar they both are. And, you know, the black one, obviously, if you're going to do chunky glitter or dark colored glitter, like that's a perfect solution for it. Also, like if you're doing like the Minnie Mouse ones and you're doing a dark color for the Minnie Mouse head, you know, you want to pair this to the color of this as best as possible. You know, this one's got a white one on it, although I could put any color one under here and you would not see it under this white. Like this white is completely solid. Melissa, that's a really great idea. Maybe I'll try that when I do, I think I'm going to try and do another live next week. Only next week's will be on YouTube. That way they can't, like the video can't be removed. Francis, I don't have any idea why the video was removed. I reached out to the one of the admins on the page. She didn't remove it. She didn't see anybody else removed it, but she has told me that she's done lives before and her videos have just disappeared without any kind of rhyme or reason. So to alleviate that and avoid that moving forward, every live that I do will end up being on YouTube, and we will pair it to, like we'll link it here, do watch parties and that kind of stuff so you guys can still see what I'm doing. The lives on YouTube work the exact same as Facebook. You guys can still ask real-time questions and I can answer them while I'm on, and then it'll be saved and you can watch it again later. Yeah, Melissa, I'm actually going to finish up here in just a little bit and I'll drop the link to the YouTube after I get the video uploaded so that you guys have access to it. Marissa and Angie. So Angie, this is the small mold that she has. In the description it should say it's perfect for phone grips. Marissa, the pink molds I got from Simply Glitterlicious. And then Mel, all of the stores that I typically buy the pops from are sold out. If anybody's looking for them, you might try Intrepid Stainless. I know they carry them. I just don't know if she's got any in stock right now. Ben, good to know. I keep my house at 75 degrees and I don't really use a torch or anything for them, and I don't really get a whole ton of bubbles, so I don't know if maybe I'm just lucky or if I'm gonna get hit with that at a later date. Thanks, Angelo. I appreciate that. Oh, you're welcome, Marissa. It's no problem. So like I said, I'm gonna finish up here. I will add a bunch of links in the description of the video once I finish uploading it, and then once I save it and share it to YouTube, I'll put all the info there as well. Actually, what I might do is I might just save the video and I'll go do all of the work on the YouTube. And then after that's done, I'll post the link in the comments so you guys can go over and join the YouTube. So thanks so much for, popping in. Happy New Year's Eve, guys. Make sure you guys are safe tonight if any of you are going out. Bernadette, I'll be sure to keep all of that either out or at a minimum. Most of what I do anyway, I mean, with the exception of like this image here, the majority of what I use and the Yoda, like the majority of what I use is not copyright, just because I'm not trying to play with that kind of fire. Don't worry, Tony, I'm going to save the video. I don't know how long it's going to last on Facebook. Like I said, the last one just kind of disappeared. So I will be sure to save it and get it uploaded to YouTube. And then I will post the YouTube link to it so that you guys can go watch it again, knowing that YouTube won't just randomly delete it. So anyway, I'm going to start cleaning up my workspace. I'm going to go and get everything loaded to where it needs to be. And I will see you guys all again very soon. I think the next live video that I might do for you guys, I'll probably do a zipper cup. I have one currently started. I have this one started that I might do the rest of it on video for you guys so you can see how I kind of make the zipper stick. So we'll talk about that later. I'm going to, like I said, I know I've said it 100 times now, guys. I'm sorry. I'm long-winded. I'm going to go get everything moved over, get everything uploaded and detailed and links and all that fun stuff. And then I will drop the link on this video, either in the description or something. I will put the link to the YouTube so you guys can go follow along, subscribe, like the video, whatever you need to do. Anyway, I hope you guys have a really great New Year's Eve. Stay safe. No drinking and driving or I will find you. You guys have a good one. Bye.